afternoon, this is Andree. I teach RYT500. Let's begin sitting quietly and close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. Now we are going to do more passive poses today, and I want to work on back bends. So we're going to do supported back bends. You're going to need 2 blocks, a strap, and a blanket. So we're going to start in child's pose. So take your 2 blocks, place them on your mat. So we're going to use the blocks in child's pose to open up the armpits of the shoulders. So place your hands on the block, so your head is probably not going to touch the floor. Okay. And then begin to release your head between your arms. Keep extending the arms. Let's take 5 breaths here. Make sure your arms are totally straight so that there's no stress in the joints. And then slowly sit up. So the first passive pose that we're going to do is recline cobbler's pose. So we're going to take the 2 blocks. You're going to place your blanket folded on top of the blocks. And have the blanket in a way so that you can tuck it in and place it underneath your head, or use a pillow for your head. So you take your strap, and hopefully you have a loop. You want to make a loop with the strap. And you want the edge of the strap to slide easily so that you can control how tight the strap is once you are in a position. So you sit in front of your support. You place the strap over your head and right above the hip. So it's not on your waist, it's above the hip. You slide your feet in underneath the strap, and then you use your hand, your left hand or your right hand, depending on where the strap is, to pull in. Now you want to adjust so that when you go back, the support is going to catch the base of your shoulder blades. You're going to turn the blanket or use your pillow, place your head onto the pillow. So you don't want your head to be way back. You want your head to be a little bit supported. Okay, now have your strap as tight as you like, feet together. So we have the strap, so there's no muscle action. You don't have to think about keeping your feet together. The strap is doing that for you. So extend the arms over your head to begin. Stretching the side body. And then bending the elbows, bring the arms to the floor. Elbows on the floor if it's possible. Close your eyes, and we're going to take 10 breaths here. And concentrate on the inhale to receive that energy. There should be no stress in your back, in your lower back, or in your neck. your feet firmly pressing against each other. So we're not forcing the pose. We place the body in a receiving mode. Notice how your body begins to receive the pose. We're going to take 5 more breaths. Observing the movement of the diaphragm. Now you're going to take your hands on either side of your thighs, bring the legs together, remove the strap. So the second pose, restorative pose we're going to do is Supta Virasana with 2 blocks. And I will demonstrate for those of you that bend your knees a different position. So let's first do a downward facing dog. Come into your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, press back to downward facing dog. Now, if you want to separate your feet to the edge of your mat, stretch back, let your head release between your arms. And come to your knees. So let's take our blocks. You're going to have the one block on a medium height, and you're going to place the other block on a high end. So this is going to be for your shoulders, and this is going to be for your head. Okay, so in that position, there should be no stress for on the neck. So those of you who cannot sit between your feet, meaning that position for you is not possible because of knee issues, or maybe very, very tight. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to stretch keep your legs extended. You're going to keep the legs separated to the other edge of your mat. You hold on to the block to catch the base of your shoulder blades. Let your head go back. You could extend the arms over your head. And then let the arms rest by your side. Those of you who want to do Supta Virasana, so if you decided to be in that position, you can stay in it. If you're going to do Supta Virasana, which is reclined hero pose, you're going to sit between your feet. So this is key here. You need to be able to sit between your feet to do this pose. Now, let's say you could not, you're almost there, but you're not quite there. You could take a little towel or something to put underneath your sitting bones. Now you're going to recline back, hold on to the block again so that the block doesn't shift. Let your head come to the other block. Adjust the block so it's in the right position. Now keep your knees together. If you're in this position, you're keeping the knees together. You are taking the knees from the inside out, bringing weight toward the little toes. Extend the arms over your head so whether your legs are straight or bent, same position. So this is for the spine. And then you're going to let your arms rest by your side. Close your eyes. Again, connecting to the breath. There should be no discomfort in your lumbar spine or your neck. Again, observing the movement of the diaphragm. Fully open your chest. You want to give your body a chance to receive the pose. If you could see your spine right now, you will notice the space between each vertebra. So you have the neck in alignment with the thoracic spine, which is supported by the block. And then you feel the sitting bones are on the floor, which stretches the lower back and the sacrum. There should be no, if you're in a recline cobblers pose, recline virasana, there should be no discomfort in your knees. It doesn't mean that you don't feel a stretch around the knees, and you may feel a powerful stretch in your calves, in your quads. But notice the difference between a powerful stretch and discomfort that stems from pain. So you don't want to feel any pain in that position. I'm going to take 10 more breaths. Let's take 5 more breaths. Now if you're lying down with your legs extended, you're going to bend your knees and roll to your side. If you're in the position that I'm in, you're going to place your hands down on the floor, keep the head back, lead from the sternum as you sit up. Okay, let's take the blocks aside. Coming to your hands and knees. You're going to stretch the right leg back, placing the toes on the floor, and take a moment here, a couple of breaths, opening the back of your knee, keeping the pelvic floor stable. Bring your right knee down and stretch the left leg back. The toes on the floor, pressing back. Coming back to your hands and knees. We're going to extend the right leg back. So we're not going to involve the arms yet. So you just stretch the leg as high as you can without disturbing the hips. And then bring your knee down. Let's switch to the other side. Keeping the pelvic floor stable, looking straight forward, fully stretching your leg, and then coming back to your hands and knees. Press to child's pose. Bring your forehead to the mat if it comes to the mat. And let's sit up. You're going to take your 2 blocks. We're going to flow a couple of times from downward facing dog to upward facing dog. And we're going to use the block for our hands. So you are kneeling in front of the blocks. Place your hands onto the blocks. Tuck your toes under and press to downward facing dog. Now we're going to keep the toes turned under for that flow. You're going to lift the heels up, come into upward facing dog. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Again, lift the heels way up high. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Hold. You can walk in a little bit if you feel like you need to. Exhaling, come to your knees. And stretch your child's pose. Take 5 breaths in child's pose. Continue to extend the arms forward, and if you like to keep your hands on the block, that's fine, for more opening in the chest. And then let's do this one more time. Coming to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Moving into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Upward facing dog. Come to your knees and rest to child's pose. You can bend the elbows, place your forehead on your hands. And then sit up. You're going to tuck your toes under, shift onto your feet, and then come into a standing forward bend. Have both legs vertically lengthening. Let your head release between your arms. Now inhale, stretch your spine, place your hands on your hips, and come all the way up. Okay, let's hold on to the elbows. You're going to stretch your arms up, bend at the elbows, hold on to your elbows. So notice as you're standing here, your ears are between your arms. You want to maintain that. As you exhale, begin to hinge forward, bend your knees if you have to. Keep hinging forward. And then eventually release. Take 5 breaths here. Pressing the calves back to maximize the stretch in your legs. Feel the stretch in the hamstring and the glutes. And feel the softness of your spine releasing from the tailbone. To come out, you're going to inhale, lengthen the spine first, just the way you came in. Come all the way up. And then change the cross of your elbows. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Keep your ears between your arms. Inhale, begin to lengthen forward to come all the way up. And extend the arms out, down by your side. Let's close our eyes for a few moments in Tadasana. Centering your mountain pose. The tailbone is dropping. The chest lifts. The shoulders drop. And open your eyes. So now we're going to do dolphin pose, and again we're going to use the block for dolphin pose. So place your blocks on your mat. Here you go to place the elbows onto the block, interlace your fingers. So press the forearms down and then press to dolphin pose. Let the head release between your arms. Exhaling, come to your knees. Press back to child's pose. And we're going to do a couple of low lunges. Have your block by your side. You're going to place your hands on the step your right foot forward. And release the right knee until it comes forward of the ankle. We'll pause there. Now keep the sacrum stable, pelvic floor is stable. Breathing in, breathing out. Concentrating on the left side. And then come back to your hands and knees and step your left foot forward. Let your knee release forward, the left knee release forward, forward of the ankle. Press against the block to maintain the lift. Notice your breath. And come back to your hands and knees. Let's do that again. Right foot forward. Release back. Tuck your toes under the left foot and then stretch back until your knee is parallel to the ankle. Pause there. Keep your hands on the block. Open the back of your leg. Press the right foot to the floor. And then slowly stretch your left knee back down to the mat. Pointing the toes, come back to your hands and knees. Step the left foot forward. Releasing the knee forward. Tucking the toes under, lifting the right knee off the floor as yet your left knee is right over the ankle. Keep your hands on the block. Could be at the high end of the block or the low end. Open the back of your right leg. And then come back to your knees. Now let's move the blocks to the side for a little bit. So we're going to repeat this without the block. So you're going to step your right foot forward and place your hands right above the right knee as you release forward. Gently lift the chin, look up. And then slowly come back to your hands and knees, stepping the left foot forward. Placing your hands right above the left knee, pressing it against your thigh, lifting the chest, releasing the knee forward, lifting the chin. And then coming back to your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, press to downward facing dog. Now you're going to step your right foot forward, release your left knee to the mat. Place your hand above your knee again. This time you're going to bend your left knee if you can, grab your foot. Whoops. There we go. And just pause there. If you're going to grab your foot, do the first pose. And then release to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. Releasing the right knee to the mat. Press your hands above your knee. And then bend your right knee, grab the foot. Exhale, release to downward facing dog. Come to your knees to child's pose. And then sit up. We are going to do another passive pose, and once again I'm going to give you a modification for those of you who have a knee issue. Okay, so if you have a knee issue, you're going to sit, and you may want to use a blanket underneath your sitting bones. So you move that right leg out to the side a little bit more, and then you're going to turn toward your left leg and grab the foot. So let's do that first, and then you may decide to repeat that or go do the other pose. Keep extending to the right leg, extending to the left leg, pressing the back of your knee to the mat. Lean from the chin, don't drop your hand. And slowly come up. Let's do the second side. Looking, facing your extended leg. Grab the foot or use a strap. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, release forward. Keep leaning from the chin, the chin. And then slowly come up. So we can repeat that on each side, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is bend your right leg so that you're in half Virasana, half hero pose. Okay, so I'm not sitting on my foot, I'm sitting on the floor. Now those of you who have bent knees, you can keep your legs extended, repeat exactly where you should stay. You're going to stretch the arms over your head, look up, then exhale, hinge forward, and grab your foot or use your strap. Now we're not releasing forward, you maintain the lift of the chin, the opening in the sternum. We try to bring the thoracic spine into a concave position. And then slowly come up. Let's switch to the other side. So if you're doing the pose that I'm doing with half Virasana, you want to rotate the inner knee toward the outer knee so that you bring in your little toe to the floor. This is for the half of your knee. You will extend the arms up, look up, then exhale, hinge forward. Hold on to your strap or to your foot. Keep the spine lengthening, keep the chin lifted. And then slowly come back up, stretch both legs. Press your hands behind you, lengthen the spine. Now crossing at the ankle, roll over your feet. Come into your hands and knees. Breathing here into on your hands and knees. Let's inhale into the spine extension, the cow position. Exhale into the cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to the cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale. Press back to child's pose. Keep the arms extended, keep the spine long. Let's come back to your hands and knees. Now you're going to keep it around your belly. You're going to lift the right leg up. And this is optional. You can keep the leg lifted up, or you can grab your ankle, press your foot into your hand. breathing out. Exhaling, release. Bending the left knee, grabbing your foot or not, keeping the foot pressing into your hand. Exhaling, pressing to chest pose. Keep the arms extended still. And you're going to sit up. So we are going to touch on camel pose today. And we are going to use a half camel pose. So I know it's easier for some of us to do that, but so you can have a block to place your hand in, or you can place your hand on the ankle. So on your heel. Okay, so you're standing on your knees. Bring the elbows back. Press the sacrum down. So you use your thumb to lengthen the spine down, dropping the tailbone, and then you open the chest, lift between the shoulder blades. Let your head go back. Now we're not going all the way, we're just maintaining this. Inhaling, coming back up to sit on your heels. Now let's come back to your knees. You're going to stretch your right arm up. And then you're going to begin to come into your half. If you use a block, have the block by your foot, you place your hand into the block, or place your hand onto your heel. Release that shoulder down, so you square the shoulders and bring your left arm up. Inhaling, back to the center, sitting on your heels. So have the block, if you're using a block, there so that your hand can easily reach the block. Let's stand. Now you're going to stretch your left arm up, reach up, and then move into your half camel pose. Square the shoulders, bring the other arm by your ear. Inhaling, come up, sit back on your heels. Let's go to chest pose. Place your forehead on your hands. Take one more deep breath here. And sit up. So we're going to follow that with pigeon pose. Those of you who don't do pigeon pose on your belly, you're going to do pigeon pose on your back. So I've demonstrated that in other classes before. If you do it on your back, you lie down on your back and you place your right ankle over your knee. So if you're going to go on your back, lie down on your back now. If you're going to do my pose, you're going to come to downward facing dog. Extend your right leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip. And bring your leg into pigeon pose. Take time to adjust in your pose. Firm up this back leg, which is your left leg. And then begin to release forward. Come to your forearms, palms together. Take a moment here to lengthen the spine. So those of you who are on your back, you can just hold on underneath your lower leg, the right leg, and extend the left leg on the floor. Those of you who are doing what I'm doing, you're just going to let the head drop between your arms. And you can even walk your elbows forward a bit more to get the extension. Let's take 5 breaths. And slowly lift. If you are on your back, you're going to place both feet on the floor with the knees bent. If you're doing what I'm doing, you're going to stretch into downward facing dog. Extend your left leg up. Open the hip. And then bring your left leg into pigeon pose. Stabilize the pelvic floor. And then slowly come forward. Those of you who are on the floor, you're going to hold on underneath your left leg and extend your right leg on the floor. So don't go to your maximum here, you pause here. And then walk your elbows forward a little bit more and lower your head between your arms. And slowly push back up and press to downward facing dog. Everybody downward facing dog. Separate your feet to the edge of your mat. Wide sacrum. Root your hands to the floor so those sink to the floor. You want to find that buoyancy in your body as you rooting the feet and the hands, lifting the tailbone. And come to your knees. Stretching child's pose. So we are going to repeat the first supine back bends that we did at the beginning of class. So we had, those of you who cannot bend your knees, you extend your legs. So I'm going to demonstrate for those of you who bend the knees. And this time, you can do the same setup you did before, or you can have both blocks on the high end. Okay, this is a little bit more challenging, but your spine may be ready for this. Okay, so you come to your knees or you extend your legs out. So you sit between your feet. You want to hold on to the block so that it doesn't shift as you go back. Extend the arms over your head, keep your knees together. If you have the leg extended, keep your legs separated. Now you're pressing your sitting bones to the ground and lifting the chest. And now let your arms rest by your side. use your energy to lift between the shoulder blades. So you bring the shoulder blades toward each other, concave back. And to come out, you place your hands on the floor. If you are the legs steady, you just walk to your side and come up. Okay, let's place the block to the side. And we are going to do bridge. So planting the feet. So they are hip width apart, aligned with the knees. Pause a moment here, feel your body in this position. So if you tuck your tailbone in, so that you find yourself pressing your lumbar spine to the floor. So you didn't really lift the hips yet, you're lifting the sitting bones. And then stretch your spine back down. Do that again. Curl your tailbone away from the floor, pressing the lumbar spine to the ground. So the part of the spine you're pressing is about the L3, the middle of your lumbar spine, the middle of your lower back. And then slowly stretch the spine back down. So we don't lift. All we do is manipulating the spine in a very gentle motion. And again, curl the tailbone away from the floor, pressing your lumbar spine to the floor. Feel the abdominal muscles becoming engaged here. To maintain that, your belly pulls in. So this is core work. And then slowly release your tailbone back down. Take a couple of breaths here. Now you're going to keep your left knee bent, you're going to drag your right knee in, and this will, and then you can use a strap, or you can hold on to your big toe. So you're going to stretch your right leg up, pressing your heels to the ceiling, pressing the right side of your sacrum to the floor. So you want to stabilize the pelvic floor there, just the way you do when you're on your hands and knees. And now begin to bring your leg out to the side, let your knee move in the opposite direction. Bringing the leg back to the center, drape your right thigh over your left, hook your right foot underneath the left leg if you can, and then come into a twist to the left. Turn the head to the right. Again, do not force it. Come back to the center. So just know we're doing this sequence, this design to protect your back. Okay, so after this class, you should feel good. If you don't feel good, drop me a note. Now, keeping the right knee bent, take your strap or grab your big toe, extend your left leg up. Pause there. Let the heel reach up to the ceiling, but at the same time, you're pressing your left side to the floor. And now bring your leg out to the side, letting the right knee also move out. Come back to the center. Cross your left leg over the right. Hook your foot underneath the right leg, if you can. And then go to the twist on the other side. And come back to the center. Place both feet on the floor. We are going to finish with a supported child's pose before Shavasana. So roll onto your side. You're going to take your 2 blocks. And we did that last Sunday, I think. So that's you can remember maybe how it felt when you did that position. So you sit facing the bolster. It's close enough so you want it to be touching the pubic bone. So you're on your heels right now, okay? And you're going to stretch over the bolster. Turn your head to the left. Let your forearms rest on the floor. Close your eyes. Breathe into the back muscles. This is a time now you notice if your spine, how does your spine feel? Does it feel tight? Is there any discomfort? So whatever you find, breathe into it without judgment. And then you're going to turn to the other side. Keep breathing into the back muscles. And then slowly you're going to come up. We are going to do step 2 bond down. So you could keep the same setup for step 2 bond down. Okay, you're sitting on the block, on your support, on your bolster, and you're going to keep your knees bent. You're going to release back. Adjust here until your head is comfortably resting on the floor. You're going to stretch your legs out. So look up, make sure you are centered. Stretch your legs out, extend the arms over your head. And then let the arms rest by your side. You let the legs relax. Breathing into the belly, into the chest. So we're not going to stay here very long, just for about 5 more breaths. But I'm going to have you bend your knees and I'm going to have you scoot back a little bit more. Can you bring your shoulders to the floor? The shoulder blades. And don't stretch your legs out again. If that hurts your back, then don't do it. Or keep your knees bent. So these are all these options. There's just one breath here. And I'm bending your knees. Roll off your support. Lie down flat for Shavasana. You can use your blanket to place. There's 2 ways you can use a blanket. You can use a blanket to place underneath your knees or upper thighs, or you can place the blanket on your belly. So sometimes having the blanket on the belly can be very comforting. And let your arms rest. Add to the side. Close your eyes. Shavasana. Concentrate on the breath to get so that the breath can lead you into relaxation. I'm not going to speak now for the next 2 minutes so that you can go deep into your relaxation. Now you're going to bend your knees and roll to your side. Come up to seated position. Take time to stabilize your body in that position. And join your palms. As you exhale, bow to yourself with gratitude. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoy this session. So the session was designed so that we did many movements of the spine, including some forward bend you may have noticed, some twists and some stretching, and that should leave your spine really healthy at the end of the session. So Have a wonderful rest of the day, and see you next week. Bye-bye.